Cashomaniacs.
GeoGearHeads.
Welcome to GeoGearHeads. This is episode 322. 322 episodes, folks. We've been at this a while. We may actually know what we're doing. I am Chris of the Northwest, along with Daryl W4. Daryl, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. And you know what? I just noticed that the Hangout is actually working for you, the Hangout toolbox.
Yay!
And I went to respond to you and I forgot to unmute myself. So, you know, it just proves even after 322 of these shows, we still don't know what we're doing.
I was trying to give us the benefit of the doubt and really build some positive self-confidence that we're going to get this down one of these days. Today's not the day.
No,
But
today is not the day.
we may have people who know things more than we do. In fact, that's why we're talking to them tonight. First of all, we have Jesse of Team AFK.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you all doing?
We are great. You know, one of these days we're going to figure out how this whole thing works. And we also have Margaret Bedelin from the Claremont County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hello, guys. How are ya?
I am well. How are you?
Now,
I'm well, too. I can't complain.
Now, you're in Cincinnati or in that area, right?
Yes.
Are
I
you
am.
dry?
No, not at all. But we will be come May.
Oh, of course you will be.
it's going to take that long to dry out.
Well, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But we've got both of these people on to talk about GeoWoodstock 2018. But before we get into that discussion, I wanted to make one quick note, which is that YouTube introduced what's likely a very cool feature this week. We're not sure yet, but it's chat replay. So now if you go back and view the YouTube video, you'll be able to see the chat as well. So I guess that's also a warning to everyone who's in the chat room to watch what you're saying, because it doesn't go away anymore. It will be there forever.
Just like the rest of the internet. It's there forever.
Yeah, except for Snapchat, I guess, which is even now going to longer term. But we're talking about GeoWoodstock 2018, which is GC5AX15, the first Giga event in North America. And I'm sure a lot of us are going just because of that. And, you know, it's always a cool event to go to. And that's going to be May 26th this year. And the actual event is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Roughly.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's one of those, it's a geocaching event. When do times actually really matter, right?
Exactly.
Never.
So by setting it at 10 a.m., you get geocachers there, 7, right? The figure, if you set it late enough, it's actually a reasonable hour for them to show up.
Exact thought process. You know it.
Nice.
But, you know, Jesse, the big reason that I wanted to hit this event was because of its location. And I'm not talking Cincinnati. I'm talking about the venue. So why don't you tell us where this is going to be? Because I thought this was one of the coolest concepts for a geocaching event.
Actually, it was I believe the venue was Margaret's idea. When she came up with it, literally I was like, if we could score that would be awesome. But I'm not even going to bank on it. And she pulled it off. You know, it's a historic Americana-style amusement park built in the 1800s. Walt Disney toured there in preparation to build Disneyland. Matter of fact, Walt then ended up hiring some of the senior management there to come out and consult for them in building Disneyland. But it's a cool place. So Margaret might be able to tell you a little bit more about it than myself.
Yeah, it's we were excited. My background is attractions and events. So I did that for over 10 years before I joined the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So I like unique things and I wanted to do something different. I'd been to the last 2 Woodstocks, had a great time, but I wanted to do something that no one had done before. So when talking with Jesse, I said, what about Coney Island? You know, they're different, they're fun, they have rides, they have water, it can encompass everything and everyone can be included. And so I reached out to the people I know over there and I pitched the idea, and they agreed. So here we have it, May 26th, Coney Island.
How
Yeah,
cool is that?
I'm real excited because I like some of these historic parks too. But we were mentioning that it's that a lot of Cincinnati is kind of underwater right now, and that's in large part because of Uncle Casher in his email that he sent. Chris, do you want to go into that?
I will, but I'm really going to give Uncle Casher the benefit of the doubt. I don't think Cincinnati's underwater because he sent an email.
You know what? I thought it was his fault.
Oh, well, in that case, let's blame him.
Yeah.
Insurance companies are going to love that.
Exactly.
But I did drive by Coney this evening, and it is officially out of being underwater. So we have made progress.
Well, let me read the email from Uncle Casher. It starts off with, just thought you might like to know the location for GeoWoodstock 2018. Coney Island is currently underwater. No worries, though. This happens frequently in the spring, and the Ohio River will be back to its banks and the park ready for the spring opening. So, in fact, we know now the Ohio River is returning back to its normal banks. So that's going to be nice. The pictures I've seen of Coney Island are fabulous.
We are really excited to have it there. It's a very cool venue, and I think people are going to really like it.
Definitely.
Well, let's move into one of the toughest parts of figuring out what you're going to do for GeoWoodstock, and that's the registration packages. So, Jesse, why don't you run through that? But before we do, when is that going to close?
We don't have a set date yet. Probably within the next 45 days or so. So expect the sale prices to leave later this month, and then around mid-April, registration will probably close.
So you have some time, but get it in
a little bit,
sooner
not
than
much.
later, or you'll be spending a lot more for these packages. Of course, the free level is never going to go up.
No, probably not.
But you don't get much with the
Probably
free one.
not. I like
You
that.
get a name tag sticker. Really though, it's you're going to want to pick up some of the registration packages. So it is at an amusement park. Margaret and her team at the CVB was able to work out an agreement, so all geocachers can get in that day for free. Parking's free and taken care of. But to be able to ride any rides or go to the water park, you're going to have on a little wristband. With every paid package starting at $10, there's a wristband included. Normally, that wristband's like $25. Just kind of looking over the packages here, the kids, we wanted to do something simple. Name badge lanyard, custom drawstring backpack that is a flying pig. And then, for the adults or for other people that, want something a little bit more, you get a wristband. And what's cool about that is you'll get a card that you can redeem and take in exchange for a water park or ride wristband. And then you can use that either Saturday or Sunday. So let's say if you're involved in activities all day on Saturday, you don't make it over to the park. If you don't make it to the ride section, you can come back on Sunday and enjoy that.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. It wasn't even, I don't think it was one of our ideas. Someone suggested that, and then we went to the park and they accepted it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the live chat a little bit. I'm watching what people said as well. I don't know how you all do this.
It's bright, shiny, and you just keep looking at it. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
It is very distracting.
Every package comes with a First to Find magazine special edition as well. It's going to be your tool and guide to the event. You're going to know what's going on where with that. We'll have a digital version of it online beforehand as well, but this way you actually get a printed copy that you can carry around with you.
So that's your program that has like the schedules and the map of the grounds, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. find out about the speakers and, who's really responsible for putting the event together, from sponsors and the hosts, and, just all the people that's had some part in the back end of it, which is huge. There's the most important package really to cover, and it's the package that we get all of the questions on. It's the package that we continually get messages about. Man, I wish I would have realized it. Can I upgrade? Is the VIP. In the VIP, there's you're going to get priority parking. You're going to be right up front. You get a slew of just about everything that's being made for the event. You're getting special edition stuff. There will be, one of the things we get asked all the time, is there going to be any VIP exclusive coins? There will be at least one coin that is only available to VIPs. There's no other versions that will be available. And we just really work to pack that full.
Well, this is really good for those who are going to be coming and going. You're not going to have to struggle as much with the parking, but we did this in Rome for going caching this year. And even though it's not a big deal, it's a smaller mega event with lots of parking, it still made it really nice because it was just so easy to come and go. So I like doing this, and this is going to be my second time doing a VIP package. However, when I signed up, the VIP ×2 was not available. So I got the VIP, and my wife has the gold package.
Submit a ticket, send a message over to the Facebook page, facebook.com/GeoWoodstock, or just message us through the geocaching account. I'll be honest, Scott Miller manages all the messages that come in through Facebook. Guy's a champ. But he'll add you to a list, and we can upgrade your package that way to a VIP ×2.
Which I have already done.
Awesome.
But good tip for anyone who's looking to do that now. Before we go too much further, Tick Magnet in the live chat wants to know if there's going to be a shuttle service to and from parking.
It's cool that you asked that. No. So when you park, the event is right there. I wish I could throw a picture on screen. I don't think I can.
You actually can. Not that most people can see it, but it's a little green icon over at the left side for screen share.
Aha. Let me do this.
But while you're doing that, I'm going to mention one of the big things that I always recommend to people going to GeoWoodstock is to do that lunch buffet meal, or whatever the lunch ticket happens to be, because it's really tough to do lunch outside of the event, and you might not even get lunch at the event if you don't have that prepaid. So it's the silver package, which is a $70 package, that gives you that lunch buffet meal ticket right now.
Exactly. And as we've talked about, Daryl, going to mega events, we've never gone to a giga event. We can only assume traffic is going to be that much more impacted. But you think, well, I could just run off and for an hour go get lunch and come back. Well, it may take you an hour to back out to the main road in order to go somewhere. So getting that lunch package there allows you to stay on the grounds, interact with geocachers and vendors, all that much more.
Yeah, one of the cool things is with the lunch package that we're doing, the venue is catering all the food. So they have a concert venue next door. Can't think of what it's called, but they cater all the food there. They have a whole warehouse of food storage. So, we're not going to have any problems keeping the food going. And it's lunch buffet tickets.
And it's a great time to sit down with some of those cachers that you just met or have gone across country to meet. So, nice way to do that as well. And of course, I will be there, though I don't expect to be doing too much at lunchtime because, it's crazy.
Well, for those listening and not watching this video, Jesse's got a great picture of the event grounds. So it looks like you've got a good amount of parking. I mean, we've got a couple of lots and then grass overflow. And so parking.
This is just a small portion of it. And as you see, literally like this blacktop area,
Mhm.
that's the VIP parking area.
Okay.
You literally, when you get out of the car, you're a couple foot from the event.
Nice.
All right, we have another question in the live chat that applies to the packages here. He says that he got a VIP package, but his wife is at just the $10. Can he buy her just the meal ticket?
Yes, you can go onto the website and purchase just the meal ticket, or you can do it the day of at the event. I would assume that the pricing will be the same. I can't promise it. That's the meal tickets and ride bands we have no control over. What happens with those?
All right. And because it's the venue, I'm sure they will have, and they're going to know how many people to expect from the prepaid ones as well. But I'm sure they're going to have plenty of food available. It's not going to be.
Yeah. Now, here's one thing to definitely know: is day of at the event, you probably will not be able to purchase the ride bands for any less than like $25 a piece. So,
Sure.
you pick it up in that $10, $35 package. That $35 package is a good deal. It's a couple bucks more than what just a standard ride band is, and you get some cool, good stuff with it.
And then Amy is asking if there's going to be a limit on the number of VIP packages sold.
We have not set a limit. The thought has crossed our mind, but we have not felt that was needed, only because there's some people that for whatever reason cannot jump on it immediately ahead of time, and we've worked to make this event as inclusive as possible.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Really, I mean, looking through it, I mean, so the $35 package gets you a t-shirt, the neck wallet, which is very handy, as well as, a path tag, and of course a geocoin. That's a good deal at the $35 level.
Yeah, and then for another $35 is where you jump up to that package that has the lunch buffet. Plus, you get the dry bag, the patch, another lapel pin, button and sticker, and magnets. So it's a good set to go with it, just because you get that meal ticket and take care of everything else in the process.
Exactly.
All right, so Jesse, why don't we move on to some of the highlights of what to expect at GeoWoodstock this year?
Yeah, let me switch my screen again real quick. Give me just a moment. There we are. Sorry, I literally had my notes up so I wouldn't get sidetracked, and I minimized them, which meant I got sidetracked.
The hazard of screen sharing is that your screen goes out to everyone and you don't get to see what else is on your screen.
Right? And I only have 2 monitors hooked up. So, some of the highlights of GeoWoodstock this year and some things that we're going to really encourage people to participate in. Hey, of course, we're going to have the travel bug exchange. We're going to do a reviewer panel, some of the popular hit things. The vendor space, we've worked to expand that quite a bit so that any geocaching vendor would feel welcome and can participate. We've been working to very well handpick and select some of the speakers. West Virginia Tim, as some people may know, he's known for gadget cache building. He wants to come out and do a talk, and he's prepping it right now about smart caches. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's right up the GeoGearHead alley.
Yeah, no doubt. The another speaker that we have lined up is Dr. Kurt Yeager from the FBI. He's the chief explosive scientist for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He wants to come out and do a talk, show some videos, and I have no clue. I've seen reviews about his talks, good stuff, but what it looks like when your geocache gets blown up by a bomb squad, and how to avoid having that happen. So, my interactions with him has been fun. So I think that's going to be a good talk.
I can make some corny jokes here.
Well, you know,
I hear he's the bomb.
he is the bomb.
And it's going to be an explosive talk. Sorry,
So,
Daryl. Daryl's giving me the look.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Scott Miller will be out and doing a TED style talk for what is that? I did not have it in my notes. Yeah, I have no clue. Let me look here.
I've seen it and I can't remember what that is either.
GSAC.
Oh, yes.
How does a geocacher forget GSAC? Yeah.
Because so many of us now are phone-based only that we don't even remember what GSAC is.
We have Project GC as well. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the team over there. I know the founder and lead developer, a good friend, and I've actually never really used GSAC much. And that's probably bad to say here.
Hey, no, I'm kind of in the same boat. I tend not to use GSAC that much myself. So, you know, Project GC has been my go-to for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Well, Magnus, the founder and owner, lead developer, has partnered with us to do some promotions of previous events. And so I'm trying to twist his arm right now to come over for Woodstock. Might happen, might
excellent.
not. Who knows? If he watches this, come on over, brother. No
pressure, Magnus.
Yeah. You know, speaking of, you know, some of these people, we are setting up an entire meet and greet area so that any of the geocaching media personalities, lackeys, special guests, will have a tent set up where that people can come, meet and greet, you know, find out, you know, pick their brains, chat some. There will be a scheduled time that people will be in the booth. One of the other big perks that we're bringing back to Woodstock, it's been missing the past couple of years. Matter of fact, I think St. Charles, Missouri was the last one to have it. Oh, GSAC, yay.
Yeah, Starcacher is happy about GStack.
Distractions. Thanks, Jim. Midnight Madness. So if anyone doesn't know what Midnight Madness is, it's a Saturday night event. Come out. We're gonna set up planning 9 to midnight, 9 to whenever you leave, and it's going to be the world's largest geocoin and tag exchange, hands down. So typically, most of the people that attend Woodstock come out for a Midnight Madness when it's hosted. Giga event, Midnight Madness, game on. The team over at GeoCoin Fest 2018 in Seattle mega event, and GC Trackables is helping sponsor and put it on. So it's going to be a good set of people that will have some input on how it's ran and what's going on. The whole concept is there's going to be no vendors there whatsoever. It is literally the community coming out, bringing their coin and tag collection, setting up to be able to buy, sell, trade, show off, bring out your cool trackables, let people discover things like that.
But this is not going to be a loggable event on geocaching.com, correct? Yeah.
Nope, it's all included as part of the Woodstock listing.
Right. Now, where is that going to be? Is it going to be at the fair or the Coney Island as well? It is.
So what's cool is Margaret and I were walking around with the staff and team from Coney Island, and kind of we were whispering back and forth like, hey, we could do this and this and this if we can score this deal. And so I threw out there, hey, you know, one of the things that we want to do is at 9 p.m., come back in, set up just very casual, no vendors, just letting people come in, use the picnic tables in the area, and show off their coins and tags. And it's the kind of stuff that geocachers collect and trade. And they said, well, we close at 9. Let's do it. I was like, that's awesome. So we're going to be in the park after close, just being able to hang out and enjoy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then I assume people are going to be able to come and go from that as well, just because it's, you know, part of the package.
Yeah.
And that means you're probably going to want to stay fairly close to the Coney Island. So, Margaret, I think this is going to be your area. Tell us about the hotel and camping options.
Yeah, we're working with 47 different hotels in the tri-state area. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we're very close to Indiana and Kentucky. The good thing is we have hotels in Indiana, Kentucky, and in Ohio reserved with a special rate. And on our website, if you go to visitclermontohio.com, there is a link at the top of our page that says GeoWoodstock. You click on that, and then it says GeoWoodstock Hotels, and it'll give you a listing of all these hotels, whether, everything from the Days Inn all the way to our high-end resorts. All on the list. You just have to let them know that you're with GeoWoodstock, and they'll give you that special rate. And then you can kind of choose what fits your needs better than someone else's. We also have spots at the fairgrounds. So for those of you that want to camp or bring your RV, which we know is something popular as well for Woodstock, we do have special rates for that as well, and that is on our website. If you go to the GeoWoodstock, and then it'll say GeoWoodstock Camping.
Excellent.
Nice.
Now, of course, there's a lot more to do in the area aside from GeoWoodstock. For everyone who's planning to make like a week trip out of this, what are some of the geocaching activities to do in the area?
So one of the cool things that we have here is the Donut Trail Geo Tour. It's a Geo Tour that was put together in the end of 2016. And it highlights donut shops.
We've been talking about that one quite a bit. And remember, if you're going to do it, that there's the T-shirt trail and the Geo Trail as two separate. Yes.
Yeah. As you do it, you can do the Muggle portion, which gets you a T-shirt. You can do the Geocacher portion, which gets you a coin. Turn in your stuff at the same time. Have a bunch of donuts. I've only done it a half dozen times myself. I don't know, just saying. Geo Tours are always a big hit because Geo Tours are a big investment of time and resources, and so they're like mega events where that you're going to want to go out and enjoy and experience it. So no matter what Geo Tour it is, anywhere in the world. Speaking of which, we are working to launched the Greater Cincinnati Geo Tour. It's going to highlight art, history, and culture of the region. So if anyone is familiar with some of our past projects, we've done like the Freedom Geo Trail that highlighted Underground Railroad, Civil War. We're going to be highlighting a bit of that. We're going to highlight a lot of the murals, some of the brewing history, parks, museums, historical sites. So it's going to be a pretty in-depth Geo Tour. Probably cannot knock out the whole thing while you're here for Woodstock, unfortunately. But we're going to break it up into segments, so it's possible. Norwood Adventure Geo Trail. It's kind of a cool thing. So there's a little city within Cincinnati. It's the little city within a city that the school program there invested into doing a small Geo Trail last summer or 2 summers ago. And it was to get their families and kids more active in the parks. And when you finish it, you get this cool little, looks like a park ranger badge, and it says Junior Ranger. And it's a badge. There's a pin that comes with it. Pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
Shawnee Lookout geocaches here in Cincinnati. It's the oldest active geocache in the state of Ohio. And we have a couple other things that I can't say just yet of what's coming, but yeah, you can expect that there will be some more goodies to come.
Nice.
Probably lab caches and some of the usuals like that too.
Oh, just other than lab caches. So yeah, and and it's because we got some cool sponsors. So like the Greater Cincinnati Geo Tour, sponsored exclusively by Cashly. It was cool. Cashly help put together the whole program, the cost, all sorts of stuff. I mean, what they've done is just absolutely amazing. And Nick over at Cashly literally just wanted to invest back into the community and build some cool stuff for when people come here to Woodstock. University of Cincinnati is working on some programming right now with us. You can expect that to probably go live middle of April. yeah, there's some really cool organizations that's really backing the local geocaching community.
Nice. Now, Margaret, you're probably the right person to answer this. You know, when geocachers come, they tend to bring family members that maybe aren't as committed to geocaching as the geocacher is. Are there things that the family can do in the area as well?
Absolutely, there are. It was funny when I was in Denver and Asheville, scouting this, trying to find information from guests. I talked to multiple people who said they wanted to have a list of things to do. They didn't want to just have to go to one specific place. And someone mentioned if there's a brewery event, we need to have something else because I don't drink or I don't want to expose my children to that. And funny, someone I was talking to in Asheville was telling me she was so excited because Sunday was going to be her day to go to downtown Asheville and shop because that was her thing. So I took all that and said, let's look at Cincinnati and what there is to do. And there's so much to do in Cincinnati. So on Wednesday and Thursday, we're kind of having an attraction day is what we're calling it. And we got highly discounted tickets to Kings Island, which is a huge amusement park in Cincinnati, if you haven't heard about it, the Cincinnati Zoo, and Newport Aquarium. So the ticket ranges, I think Kings Island's about $25 off the gate rate.
Wow.
The zoo tickets are only $9 and they go for $19 and $13. And the aquarium tickets are $6 off and $4 off general admission. So they gave us some really awesome pricing for those days that people can come and experience, something that they might not have ever experienced. And all three of those things are very different and very different target markets.
Yeah. Yes, they are. I grew up in Ohio and I've gone to Kings Island a couple of times now. I'm sure it's changed a lot, but it was impressive back then. I remember Cedar Point and Kings Island always had the race of who had the biggest, fastest roller coaster.
Yes, that's the truth. And Kings Island has been ranked numerous times by the company that does all the amusement awards for best kids area at Kings Island out of all the amusement parks in the US. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have Scene 75, which is right up the street from where Coney Island's going to be. And we have an 11 to 3 kind of special time frame there on Wednesday. And they're giving us $25 if you pay $25, but you get $37 worth of value. It's like 2 attractions and then arcade dollars, and they have go-karts and laser tag and miniature golf. And I mean, it's mini bowling. I mean, it's a pretty cool facility. So we have that as well on Wednesday, late morning, early afternoon for people to check out.
Well, you've convinced me. I don't even want to go geocaching now.
No,
Okay.
you have to do both. That's why you got to come for a long time.
Go. That'll do it.
Hotel deals.
Just come the weekend before. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Just do
There
it.
you go. Live a little.
All right, jumping back to the chat room for a moment here. Married with Hobbies says that Taste of Chicago, yeah. Taste of Cincinnati is Memorial Day weekend as well, so that's something else to do.
Actually, can I chime in on the room a little bit? IB geocaching, I said, and I totally missed it. He mentioned about the coins, it was when we were talking about Midnight Madness. We are the founder of GeoCoin Fest, Mark Clemens, designed our GeoCoin for the Midnight Madness portion, and there will be an exclusive VIP version of it in the VIP package. And then Married with Hobbies talked about some of the local geo art. The local club OKIC and its members have been extremely excited about GeoWoodstock coming, providing some cool opportunities. So they have been working on just saturating some of the trails with caches, some of the deploying some geo arts here and there. There's the Cache In and Out. He's published more than 1,000 caches locally. Avro Aaron, yes, that is his geocaching name. But Cache In and Out published a G. I believe it's facing the direction of GeoWoodstock or something like that. But some pretty cool stuff.
And for that one, they're recommending in the chat that you bring bicycles.
Yep. Yeah, if you have bikes, kayaks, we have a lot of kayak caches. There's some really cool where I goes around here. Married with Hobbies is right. One of the cool things about that weekend is it's Memorial Day weekend. Anyone that knows Cincinnati knows we have Taste of Cincinnati going on. It's one of the largest food festivals in the nation. Get your eat on.
Great. After a long day of geocaching, you've got to eat somewhere. Right?
Yep. And it goes all the way through like Monday. So, if you come and do the event on Saturday, come back to the venue on Sunday to do the rides and swim or whatever you want to do, then go over to Taste of Cincinnati. It's like a 7 or 8 minute drive over to the Taste of Cincinnati. Really enjoy it.
Wonderful. Now, we know GeoWoodstock is one big event, but there are things going all week long. I mean, you're pushing me to come for 2 weeks here, right? So if I come and start,
I thought we were talking month of April before the show started.
Oh,
come at the end of April, stay all of May.
Wait a minute. Now it's a month. I don't know if I can afford to keep talking to you. But we've got all these great geo trails. I mean, the Donut Geo Trail we've talked about on this show, and that's one of the things that I'm actually a little excited to do. But there are other events as well.
Yeah, for sure. So as I mentioned on Wednesday, we're kind of starting it by having that attraction day with the discount tickets to the Kings Island, the zoo, the aquarium, and that's all day. You can go at any point in time and spend anywhere from an hour to any of these places to literally all day. And then after that, from 11 to 3, we're going to be doing something at Scene 75, which I mentioned was kind of the game place, the indoor games. And then at 6 to 11 o'clock, I'm excited about this event because this is very different. So from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., we're going to do a kickoff street party in New Richmond. And we're going to literally close down the streets of New Richmond, which is right along the river. So it's actually still, I think, underwater, but they're coming up out of it. And we're going to be doing, we're going to have musicians and we're going to have booths and we're going to have food for sale and drinks. There's going to be a couple restaurants open, so you can go inside and hang out there, or we'll be grilling stuff out on the street. And we're working on getting permits that we can literally shut down the street and you can walk around with your beverage. So that's something that we're working on with the city, and we're excited for that because it gets to show off a different part of the city.
Mm-hmm.
No open container problems.
Yeah.
That is actually a geocaching event too. So that one's going to be GC7FQQH.
Yeah. And then on Thursday we have
actually, one thing I want to chime in on that event real quick, just because it's so, it's going to be so unique in the aspect of where that it's located. So, Coney Island's a cool place. Some of the things that we're doing is really cool, but that Wednesday night event, for anyone that doesn't know, and we had hundreds of people that came out for our Freedom Geo Trail launch and that has participated in the Freedom Geo Trail when it was still alive. Went through the city, this little town city of New Richmond. It was so significant to there was a lot of the abolitionist movement there, a lot of Underground Railroad activity. I'm not a history buff. It's not my cup of tea, but now that I know what that little town meant to the rest of our nation now, and what our nation's at now because of that town and the people that was there. There's little walking tours. You can stand there, overlook the river. You're right down the river from Ripley, Ohio. It's such a moving place, to say the least. History buffs that love American history, love Civil War, will really, really enjoy that, other than just the festivities. But yeah, the people that's putting on that Wednesday night event, the CVB, their team in the town there, they know how to throw a party as well.
Yeah, and if you go a couple hours before, you can check out all these historical sites. Jesse is very right. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So now we've got Wednesday, May 23rd. We know what we're doing then. Anything going on Thursday?
So Thursday we have discounts again at those fabulous attractions, Kings Island, the zoo, and the aquarium. And then Cliff Smith has actually organized the Cincinnati Reds game. So it's the Reds versus Pirates. He's gotten some great deals with the Reds for discount tickets. It's a 12:15 game. So, if someone wants to go and cash in the morning and then check out this game, and then, they can still go to our evening event that night. That's the cool thing about that. And if you've never been to a professional baseball game, the Reds is the way to go.
Love it.
And then that night, we're actually doing a brewery event because I know that seems to be pretty popular. That people like those with the research I've done visiting these the last 2 Woodstocks. But we're calling it We Know Beer, and it's at Mount Carmel Brewing Company. Which is right off of 275. So if depending where you're staying, whether in Claremont County or outside, 275 is one of the main interstates, and it's right off of that. It is a family-friendly event and venue. It's actually, they just built a brand new facility, which they're currently building as we speak. And we will be the first event there. They opened the week prior. So we'll be the first people to experience it. They have a pond there. And we actually are going to be running buses because there's only about 100 parking spots at the brewery. So we will be offering shuttles. And that information on where the location is will be posted, but we'll be offering free buses so that people can come, and if they don't want to park, and it'll be off of the 275 Eastgate area, which we have several hotels reserved there. So if people know they're going to be drinking a lot at the brewery event, hey, they don't even have to Uber or anything. They can walk from the hotel to the shuttle and then head over to the brewery. So that's a cool thing about that too.
Nice. And that is an official geocaching event as well. That's GC7 Foxtrot Quebec Juliet. So not only can you go and drink beer, but you can get a smiley out of it.
And in the chat, Amy is asking if you'll be able to pick up the discount tickets after the event on Wednesday. Just wondering, because she won't be in town till Friday and wants to visit the zoo and other places during the week after GeoWoodstock.
I think I have them. It'll say on the website. They were each different, but even I think Kings Island is up. Oh gosh, I don't know the exact dates because they all varied, but some were. If she clicks on the links once they go live, it'll tell her what days they're good for. So that's a great question.
So yeah, I'm going to be pushing out the links within the next week or so, so everyone will be able to start looking at the attractions and what's going to be available. And most of them you'll be able to purchase your tickets ahead of time, so that when you get to town, you already have the information in hand. So
all right, so watch the website for that information.
Yeah, Facebook is where we always put the information out first. So if you have Facebook, great. If not,
go get it.
We're working. We're getting there.
And then John is asking if you have a suggestion for a Where I Go to do during that week.
Yeah, so there's 2 really good Where I Go developers that's local here, Iskandar and Landon Dinas. And so I have a team from OKIC, the local geocaching club, that is putting together a list of some cool geocaches, and I will have them, pull what the good Where I Goes are. Another good place to ask is in the Facebook group. Landon Dinas has done just some absolutely amazing, taking board game concepts and Battleship and other stuff, and worked with Ranger Fox. So if anyone that gets into Where I Goes knows him, worked with him to develop some cool stuff. So that's the best suggestion I have there. I've not done many Where I Goes myself. And one of the things that I wanted to mention, because it starts on Thursday, and I noticed that it's not in our notes, is registration. And Margaret could actually cover that better, but she found a really cool venue to be able to do registration pickup at.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Thank you, Jesse. Minor detail. Yeah, so we're going to be doing packet pickup at Jungle Gym. So it's an international grocery store here in Cincinnati. There's only 2, and one happens to be in Claremont County, right off of the 275 interstate, right by Eastgate Mall. And they have everything you can imagine, like seriously anything. It's awesome. But we'll be doing packet pickup there on Thursday. We have reserved a private space there Thursday from 3 to 7. And then for those of you that aren't going to be coming until Friday, don't worry. We have you covered Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then, of course, over at the venue on Saturday. But there is a bar at Jungle Gym. So if you want to come and grab a drink, and try some cool beer or wine from another country, or if you just want to come and come in the front doors, you can go into the room that way. You don't have to go through the beer and wine section to get to the indoor location we have reserved. But it'll be a pretty cool place to knock off your list. There are some caches there, if they're still there. Are they still there, Jesse?
Yes, AFK
Okay.
to the jungle reforestation's there. So yeah.
So you can kill two birds with one stone.
And I assume the people who have registered will get information about this stuff as the date approaches.
Yep.
Including where to go exactly. And then let's move on to the Friday event, which is going to be at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, well, even on Friday, we have some cool activities before that yet again, I've totally failed you in notes. So we are working with Chris Williamson, the director of Treasure the Movie. If anyone's seen it, it's a absolutely amazing geocaching film. He is granted permission for us to do 2 private showings at Woodstock. One of them's on Thursday night. One of them is on Friday morning. I think the Friday is like 10 to 1. The event's pending publication. So the venue can hold 600 plus people that we're using 26-foot screen. It's where my team always shows our gift movies. So it'll be a great fun time. We'll have exclusive little GC mini tag minted for it. That's going to be available only at that event. Version's going to be in the VIP package. The mamas, anyone that's familiar with going to Woodstock and doing the Friday morning breakfast, the mamas are planning to do another breakfast then. And then Friday night, after everything winds down, getting ready for the big day Saturday, we decided to just have a good time, get together, let loose a little bit, and do a toga party. So we've reserved the Claremont County Fairgrounds for an event. That's the same venue. So if you're camping, you're going to be right there at it. It's going to be a good perk to be able to go camp for. And it's just going to be, getting together, bonfires. And I think my team decided that we're going to donate 100 trackables and just randomly give them out to people wearing togas. So, yeah.
So make sure to wear a toga for that one.
Or grab the bed sheet from your hotel. Make sure you return it. But you can wear it at night.
And for anyone who wants to look that one up, it's GC7FQQK. Now, one of the other things that we tend to recommend people check out is the volunteering at the events. What is available for people to do this year?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading chat. What did you say?
Talking about the volunteering and asking what's available for people to do this year.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to be part of the event and setting this monumental time, first Giga event in North America, GeoWoodstock was the first mega event. It actually created the mega event status, and so GeoWoodstock has some legacy here. So if you want to be part of 2018, we're gonna publish everyone's names that was part of it afterwards. Either your name, your geocache name, whatever you want, but all of our volunteers, all of our sponsors, vendors, everyone's gonna just get their name published, because I think it's that important. It's not me, it's not Margaret, it's not our teams that's the magic here. It is the entire community. It's if you want to participate as a sponsor, a vendor, a volunteer, all the volunteers we're gonna make and give a trackable to. We have some really cool sponsorship opportunities. Vendors, we literally are working to include every geocaching vendor that's interested, so that it's a very inclusive event. Just give us a message, facebook.com/GeoWoodstock. Exhibitors, if you're a Geo Tour host, a mega event host, media personality, anything like this, we have some cool exhibitor spots available for you. So just give us a message.
And is there anything that we should warn cachers about who might not be from the area who might need to know like what to look out for? Any nasty stinging insects or such? This isn't like Florida. You don't have to worry about the gators.
No.
Yeah, I've almost died like a handful of times in Florida geocaching. Cincinnati,
It could be snowing or it could be 100 degrees.
no, there is no precipitation that day. There is none. I have filed a report on this.
You just have to worry about the rivers coming up and grabbing you, right?
Mary
Not
Hobbies
mixed.
is
We're
right.
pretty good mixed.
Poison ivy. And for anyone that hates poison ivy, we do have poison ivy and we have mosquitoes. That's probably the two most hazardous things you'll come across.
What about things like rattlesnakes? Do you guys have those in that area?
No,
Only at the
we're totally pampered.
Oh, the Cincinnati Zoo.
If you want to go play with a rattlesnake,
parks.
there's some activities Wednesday for you and Thursday. Go to the zoo. We keep our rattlesnakes where they belong here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we have the problem in the Detroit area with having some of those in some of the parks. You don't see them in the city. They can't survive there, at least. All right. Well, thank you very much, both Jesse and Margaret, for joining us and sharing a bunch of great information about GeoWoodstock 2018. And I'm excited to see you guys there.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing everyone.
Thank you so much. Good information. I don't know why I haven't bought my tickets yet. I got to get on that. Now, Daryl, we were going to give something away, weren't we?
Yeah. We've been doing for the last couple shows that TV scan giveaway. The developer has given us 10 codes. And if you remember, I was really questioning what was going on because we had so many iOS users last week and almost no Android users. So they came out in force. We now have 11 Android users to 8 iOS users asking for those codes.
Love it.
So it's almost a total flip from what it was last week, though not by quite the margin. But I was really interested in the list that came out when we did the randomize on this. Mm-hmm. So we have as the 10 winners of those 19 entries. So you had better than a 50-50 chance of winning on this. You have the geocaching vlogger, G-Nice, Hot Rod 205, JR and Juju, Land Monkey, McAddies, Questermark, Rendezvous. I think that's how that's pronounced. Rock Chuck, he actually made it in there. That was kind of surprising. And then Subway Mark. So quite the list this time. I think half of them have been on the show.
I think you're right. Yes. Well, congratulations to all the winners. You're going to get a code by email. Am I correct?
Yep. The developer will be emailing you directly with those codes. So keep an eye out for those.
Nice. And if you enjoyed this show, we get shows like this each and every week. Now, next week, we're going to go over our gear, the gear we take geocaching with us. And we're going to have Shermanator 18, See My Shell, and one of our winners, Land Monkey. The week after that, we're doing one of our infamous randomized shows with, guess what? Another winner, the geocaching vlogger. And then March 22nd, we're going to talk about foolish cachers with, now, these didn't win prizes, but they're winners in life of Scott Burks and Shorty Nets. And then another person we've talked about during this show, we're going to talk about Cashly on March 29th with the developer Nick.
Check the Cachemaniacs website at cachemaniacs.com for more on the GeoGearHeads, including show notes for this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us feedback by emailing GeoGearHeads at cachemaniacs.com or through social media. Your support helps keep the Cachemaniacs shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cachemaniacs shows. GeoGearHeads is produced by Chris Nuffenauer and Daryl Wanberg. This show is copyright 2018 by Daryl Wanberg. All rights reserved.
Cash with the Cachemaniacs.